So our programs are getting complicated enough where their execution takes so long that the system times out and it shows an error that says time limit has exceeded, which I think it's set at maybe 30 seconds or a minute. And so we want to get around that. And the way we get around that is we're going to use a command. And so if you look at this code here, we import turtle, create our screen, create our turtle. We make our shape a turtle. We set our speed to 0, which is the fastest. And then we have a for loop that runs 100,000 times. And inside of the for loop, we have code here that is going to have the turtle draw a triangle. Right. So basically what this is going to do is draw 100,000 triangles. And if you run it, which I'm not going to do, it will time out. And the way we're going to get around that is you could do sys.set execution limit. And inside of the parentheses as an argument, you're going to put the time in milliseconds that you want to set the execution limit to. So we could just set it to some very big number. And we will be good to go, right, for any of our programs. But if you do that and you run it, you can see here that it says name sys not defined on line 3. So right here, that's the same error that you will get if you don't import turtle, right? Because to run the screen function, you need to import turtle. To run the set execution limit, you need to import sys. Right. So we can do another import here and say sys, and we run it, and I won't run it, but if you do, it will let this run for its entire duration because we've extended the execution limit. Okay, so that's one way to do it, right? Another way to do this is also to use tracer. And so how does tracer work? Well, here we made our turtle, and we're going to say t.tracer, and I'm going to set my tracer to 5. Okay. Well, maybe I could set it to 5. And if you run this, all of a sudden the program will run 5 times as fast. Okay, so that's another way that you can get your programs to run faster. And to try to explain how that works, I have this little box or whatever here. Let's pretend that each box represents one command in turtle. So this is like turtle move forward, turtle left, turtle move, turtle right, turtle move, end fill, pen up, go to, pen down, forward, turn left. Right. So each of these boxes is an instruction for the turtle. And what does tracer do? It prints out this one here onto the screen. So it prints this first action of the turtle on the screen, and then it skips 5 frames, right? And then it prints all of those frames that we skipped all at once right here on the 5th after skipping 5 frames, right? And then what we do is we skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we print here. Okay, so that's what tracer does. And if you notice, there's a problem with tracer, right? And what is the problem? Is that we print all the actions, 5 actions previous, at like 5 frame intervals, right? So then this one would print, okay, cool, and then all of these will print up to here, right? Okay, great. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these guys will not print because we don't have another command for the turtle so that it will print all of these actions, right? So all of these frames right here will be left out and they will not print, okay, onto the screen. And so how can we fix that? The way that we can fix it is we are going to put some dummy frames here on the end, right? So if I do a tracer of 5, that means after I have finished everything that I want to draw, then I can do a t.pen up, right? Which means wait, hold on, and I'll do a for loop for for k in range 5, and then I will do t dot forward 1 space. Okay, and then I can maybe do a pen down, but it doesn't really matter at this point because this is the end of my program. So I'm going to do pen down. So what is this doing? It is creating 5 extra steps in the turtle that do nothing, but that allow these boxes to be printed out to the screen, because all of a sudden I have a dummy action, which is pen up, then forward, then forward, then forward, then forward, right? So I've added these dummy actions that do nothing to the drawing that my turtle is creating, but it does create more frames. So all of these frames here will be printed to the screen, right? Which means that all of these, which I actually did want, all of these frames here that I actually really did want to print will print to the screen, even though they are less than the number 5, which is how many frames we're skipping in the tracer. And these guys over here will not print, and it doesn't matter if they print because we don't want them to print. It's a pen up, forward, 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 forward. It does nothing. So that is what you want to do if you're using tracer. And of course, if you're doing tracer and you're doing a 100, right, you're skipping 100 frames, you would want to do 100 here. And I kind of call this clearing out the tracer, right? So just kind of making sure that last set of frames are printed to the screen. So I think that's all you need to know in order to have your programs be extremely long, but still print out to the screen fast.